All right, hello. Welcome to Adventures in Lollygagging. We are back to playing Werewolf the Apocalypse tonight. We've got a full pack, and we're going to be starting up a new arc. As last week we finished the second arc of the Chronicle in a very blazing glory kind of fashion. Which we've been talking about whether or not it was a good thing. Who's going to do the talking to break some news that probably has to be broke at the beginning of the session? But we'll see how it goes. But while we go ahead, let's do a quick little introduction, who everybody is, who you're playing, all that kind of stuff. And then we'll get in and we'll see what the aftermath has been in the time following what went down at that listening station. So we'll start with Jeremy. Jeremy, tell us about Eustace.
Yeah, Eustace is a Philodox Hart Warden, runs Heart and Soul Saloon here in town. He's not doing real well, realizing that those people kind of snapped out of it after the boss was killed. He was kind of the one that instigated burning them. So it hasn't been a very happy time.
You're okay, man. So I should clarify, by the way. They snapped out of like trying to kill you, but they were still kind of comatose. So like we haven't fully resolved, exactly what's up with them. So but yeah. But I mean, everyone was on board with the plan. And I think like you guys were going to kill them one way or the other. And then the courtyard. I mean, the courtyard at the end of the session was it's like a scene from Berserk, man. It was just like
body parts everywhere.
Yeah. So it's all good.
Including Selena's, I feel like.
Yeah. So tell us, how's Selena doing? You survived, so there was that. So that's a good thing, right? Gotcha. Yeah, kind of got your ass kicked, but also you hung in. You hung in there.
So let's look back at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 aggravated willpower, plus 2 superficial willpower. Yeah. And I did completely go down with HP. So yeah, that hurt. Lots of licking wounds, as it were. Yeah, that was She is not, to clarify, not necessarily kind of theoretically opposed to going into different forms. She just, by the time that was a thought, the risk of losing rage was concerning, and I didn't want to be just human in the middle of the situation. So I didn't want to risk the rage rolls.
So Evan, you were there. She was in the middle of like a mob of 12 things, and like we're like going to Krynos, and she's like, nah, going to Krynos, nah. Just saying. And then like then Jacques goes into Krynos and literally like kills like 6 people in like one turn. It was pretty.
And rolls like 40 awesome. Dice at once and has like all of the HP.
That's what he does. He did not even get hit. Not even get hit in that fight.
I never even hit him with those guys. They just outdid it all. All right, next up, we've got Duke. Evan, tell us about Duke Dustfang.
Yeah, Duke is an old geriatric werewolf from the Silver Fangs. He is a galliard that is attempting to kind of reclaim the old history and the lines between the noble families kind of in this area or in the West Coast. And ever since the war, things kind of got a little haywire, and he's trying to maybe reclaim back his, who knows what he is, but his old household into power. But I don't know what happened last time, but it sounds like it was crazy, and I don't know what Duke was doing, but clearly not controlling the pack.
No, Duke we had forgot about for a little while, and then remembered towards the end, and then we were like, oh yes, so he started doing. So
maybe Duke doesn't remember. I don't know. I feel like he's gonna be real disappointed.
He got to see the carnage in the courtyard of this listening station because he was right there watching as everything went, and then eventually like, oh, that's right, he's here, he can help out. So we did your stare down.
I attempted to use you to help Selena survive one additional round before she
he went senile and then snapped back.
Yeah. All right, next up we've got Lou. Tell us about Lou Riel.
So close. You're getting closer. Getting closer. Lou Riel is a Ragabash werewolf. She is more or less a white-collar detective who Also tries to get these people to dump these stupid old ways that clearly haven't worked, and we need to do something different and not kill all the humans, please and thank you. Nobody likes me for some reason.
That's not true.
I know.
I like you fine.
Some of them deserve it.
I'm the antithesis to a few goals.
Yeah. Yeah, there's definitely some inter-pack conflict going on. Different views. That's fine. You're all brought together by the sept, right? You got to protect the sept.
Or otherwise known as?
Oh, well, that's the cairn. The community around it is the sept. So, yeah. I don't even think I pronounce it 2-syllable. I'm pretty sure it's cairn. Bam, one. Whatever.
And
it is now
right.
It's
and
cairn,
forever will be.
Yeah, sorry, I ruined that.
Yeah. And then finally, Aaron, tell us about Jacques.
Oh, you all know I'm Jacques Roulette. I was born under the warrior moon in Ahroun as a wolf, a red talon whose patron is Griffin. On 4 feet or 2, I'll take it to the humans and call them back to their cities where they belong. And then I go for the weaver and tear its throat out too. We go back to the old ways.
Jeremy, I was about to respond to Jeremy about how each session the accent gets thicker and thicker, and I feel like by the end of the chronicle, it's just
You won't even understand a
We're
word.
gonna be like Waterboy at the end.
I will literally
Waterboy.
start speaking in Creole.
Just like Waterboy.
Pretty much.
I'll eat your medulla oblongata.
Oh, so good. Oh, fantastic. All right. So last session, we'll do a quick summary. Last session, you infiltrated this listening station that was run by a company called Echo Labs, you learned. They were hidden in the desert, away from a bunch of places. You did find a dirt road that eventually went there and some Humvees and such. It was an active station, although it was built atop what appears to be kind of like an old ruin or an old station. Like they just kind of airlifted in some prefab buildings or something like that. Anyhow, you got there, you realized it was overrun with a bunch of these corrupted people that you've been seeing throughout. So some folks from the diner, some of those locker mercenaries that you saw getting out of the helicopter or near the helicopter, and some folks who probably worked at the station itself. So you started taking out some sentries as they were moving around in groups, and that's when, as we've mentioned, the horse trailer plan was put into action, and it was a very effective plan. There was also a lot of like earthquakes, like there was the shaking of the earth itself that was happening. The buildings were breaking, collapsing. There were even these little crevices and things that were showing up in the ground. Started exploring a bit. Lou had a kind of a weird moment when her cell started to emit these nightmarish scenes that involved her son, but the pack managed to convince her that it was just sort of fiction, just sort of made up. And so you stayed around. Then you all went to the courtyard, and that's where Jacques and Selena engaged about a dozen of these corrupted figures, a mixture of like some of those mercs and some of those regular folk. The two of you did hold them off for quite a long time while Eustace and Lou charged into the control room of the listening station. Inside, you found hiding in the shadows and sort of connected to all of the various devices in here was this Bane-infested young woman, presumably the body that came up out of the grave, who was had emerged with a bunch of tech and was like this behemoth creature now from all of the cables and such and the machinery within this station itself. So it took a little doing. There was a crazy fight. She was very, very strong. So she did get some good licks in here and there, but you were able to take her down. And most of the thralls that were in the courtyard just got ripped apart. Some got burned down, but there were a few that still lived. At least they sort of lived. And as you were looking around, you did find that it was Tara's body, which is Calypso Circles, your friend of the Sept, her sister, the whole thing that kind of started this mess. She was unfortunately within that trailer. You do have I think it's a necklace that you had to identify her. And as you were driving away from the site, because you got into one of the Humvees, you set the place on fire, and then you started to drive away. The entire station was burning, was coming down. That shaded effect that had been kind of encompassing the entire area started to fade. You can see the sun coming up once more. And it did seem like for a moment, Lou and maybe Eustace, those of you who have any kind of abilities to see or even venture into the spirit world, you actually kind of start to see this something emerge from the ground as if it was trapped beneath those ruins. So we're going to pick up kind of montage. We'll sort of just montage the next 2 days, and we'll just kind of do a round table here. And you can kind of just say, what has your character been doing over these next 2 days? You were driving away with a Humvee. You had all the bodies. The bodies themselves were like comatose. Like they were physically like heart beating, breathing, etc. But they weren't conscious, and no amount of poking was waking them back up. But we'll do like a little round table. So we'll say 48 hours. So anytime in the next 2 days, what have you been doing in the aftermath? This could be training. This could be following up on some of this aftermath. Like, what have you been up to? So we'll just kind of do a round table. We'll start with Eustace.
Okay.
So what's Eustace been up to?
I think he kind of take his mind off of things, or kind of get himself centered again. So back to the heart and soul. And he's got a ghost now to talk to, try and pick his brain about, if he's got any last words he wants to get to his family or anything like that, or anything he can think of that might help me get in touch with him. And while he's doing that, I'm just, Eustace is keeping his hands busy, like coming up with a new brew for the heart and soul. You can see he's going to get some ghost peppers, some hatch chilies, set them under the meat that cooks in the smoker straw. The fat can drip onto them, so you kind of have some like savory, salty, but spicy beer that gets made up. And he's kind of getting that underway. Crafting is his main way to recenter. So that's what he spends a good bit of his time doing. And while he's doing that, he's chatting with his ghost buddy.
So we'll see then that the manifestation of a man you've come to learn is named Danny Perez, a man in his 40s or so. He got dark hair, relatively clean shaven. You can see he's still wearing the clothes that he was in when he died. The first few days after kind of started manifesting, he would do so in these little blips, these little moments here and there, and he would kind of be confused. And so it's been kind of this time of coaching him and kind of getting him to realize exactly what he is. And so for a while, after the dust storm a week or so ago, 2 weeks ago at this point, you had to, like, you would periodically kind of get shocked as like he would just emerge somewhere in your pub, just screaming, confused, as if he's getting attacked. And over time, he's been staying longer each time before kind of dissipating or kind of sifting back into the spirit world. But as you're cooking, we'll say he's standing behind you. We can see that it is very much the sort of the American Werewolf in London kind of deal, where you can see the viscera of where he kind of got attacked by this black spiral dancer. And when he talks, he does so you can hear, but no one else can. I would say no one else can probably hear it. And he's just like, yeah, my wife, I had a kid, and they were in Texas for a while. I wasn't a good father. Are you a father, Eustace?
Yeah, well, not that I'm aware of. I had a wild childhood, you might say, but if I do, I've been a bad father as well. But the funny thing about this world is we always have more time than we think we do. Maybe not in the form that we expect or understand, but you are still here in a way. You still got thoughts and feelings and words, and maybe you got to, lean on somebody else for a little bit of help to pass those on, but I'm happy to do that.
I tried to walk down the road, and I got about a quarter mile, and then then I was here again. It's like I figure maybe I could go see her, but it's not working. But I don't know. Like, how do I don't know. Her name? What's her name? Victoria.
Yeah.
Vicky.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And
start with little things. Like, just think about, like, one of the best things to trigger memory, honest to God, scent. What do her perfumes smell like? What did her favorite food smell like? Start there. Start simple and build up.
I can't smell anything, man. There's no smells.
Well, You can't even remember smells?
I mean,
That's terrifying.
She used to get those air fresheners from Target, and they smelled like. I did too, but they smelled like Hawaii. She always wanted to go to Hawaii, and she said since I was never gonna take her, then she's gonna bring it there. I should have taken her.
Well, hell, I'll save up and I'll buy her a couple of tickets, and we'll say it's from you.
And you can see every time you talk to him, he always is like, his head's kind of jerking. He's like prairie dog here and they're kind of just moving around, kind of like with this real sort of concern. You hear that? You see that?
What are you hearing? What are you seeing?
Right there. And he just sort of motions over to the far corner of your bar, the very window now that has been replaced. And you can see he's looking directly at it. And right there, you're just like, the shadow right there. You don't see that?
I do have the ability to see, like,
and you see, he starts to like wilt away a bit. He starts to wilt away a little bit. So you, do you have like this? Do you have like penumbra sense, like Lou does?
No. So it's the I think it's the third tier of the Umbral Traveler. Basically, it's what lets Eustace see ghosts.
Oh,
he can't force them to communicate with them.
Yeah.
But unless they use some sort of special ability, ghosts can't hide from him. Like he can just see them.
It is not, that's not triggering it.
Yeah.
You're not seeing anything there. Yeah. So you're not, so whatever it is, it's certainly not a ghost or a spirit or something like that.
Okay.
But whatever maybe it's his name, but he kind of wilts away.
I can sometimes pick up on some things, but whatever it is, I'm not getting it.
He's coming for me. He's coming for me. And then you see he just kind of starts to run. He turns around like he's going to run. And as he does so, he just fades.
Why do I get the feeling I need to teach him to be at peace that's coming for him? But he's probably not going to be at peace until he makes peace with himself. Okay. Get back to mixing the words.
Okay. We'll cut over then to Selena. Selena, what have you been doing these 2 days?
So probably not immediately, but maybe like the next day, Selena and Lou would take a ride over to Madame Helene's.
Okay. So we can do both yours at the same time if we want. Say the two of you drive. Does anybody else want to go on this little ride?
No.
Jacques sneaks in his lupus form, just hiding. Okay, so Selena and Lou head there. Okay, so you go inside. You see the people that you would normally expect to find. So Calypso is there, obviously, but you also see Madame Helene. You can even see Blossom, who does the class head looking up as if she's looking around for Eustace once more. You get led into the back room that you've been led to before. There's the couch spread out. You know, it looks like there's the desk where they do whatever their inventory is, and looks like they have a handful of stock back here as well. Calypso is there. You can tell she probably hasn't slept for a few days. Is this immediately after you return? Like, are you? Okay.
No, I think Lou's got some stuff that she'll do in hers, but this is kind of Selena's. But we would do it together because Calypso is Lou's contact.
So her eyes get wide and she looks and what did you find out? You can see she's like even more throaty than normal from probably crying, and you can tell like there's just this cigarette smoke all over the place in here.
Well, I would say that you were definitely right to bring us into this. There are some things going on that were definitely things that we are equipped to handle.
Sort of.
So I'll we've addressed the issue. I'll say that, but unfortunately. And Selena will kind of look at Lou and she'll kind of reach into into her long skirt. She kind of has this pocket, and she'll kind of reach her hand into the pocket, and she'll kind of have a closed fist and reach out towards Calypso.
Unfortunately, we weren't able to do anything but revenge for it. I know.
Hand reaches out, shaking. You're not sure if it's from grief or maybe just she's an older woman. It could just be a little bit of age kind of showing. And she reaches out and she grabs it, kind of shakes it a bit, looks. Madame Helene is there. We'll say Blossom is out front watching the shop still. And it's probably Madame Helene who speaks since Calypso is just so intently looking at the necklace itself, and she's just, we felt her pass. It was yesterday, wasn't it? In the night or the early morning. We felt it.
That is likely what happened, yes.
Yes.
She kind of points over to what looks like on one of the tables in here, like this little like antique side table. There's a mirror where they might kind of fix themselves up before they go out to the shop. But you can see there is like this small little shrine set up. And there's like a couple candles. You can see a photo of Tara on there, and there's the candles. All at once, we know. Was it? They kind of look. Was it painful?
It was quick.
You can tell they look at each other. They look at you. They look at each other. Roll a manipulation, Lou.
Yes.
Oh no.
Oh gosh. Oh gosh.
You should have asked Duke to come, but you don't ask him.
Let's do manipulation persuasion.
Okay.
Oh my goodness. I would have one die for that. What do you have for that?
Manipulation, persuasion.
good.
Actually, I have 3. I'm okay at manipulation.
Okay.
And right now I have 1 rage. Okay.
Of course, I rolled a crit on this.
Oh no.
Of course, I rolled a crit on this.
I mean, she is a.
Oh,
She is
okay.
a
I mean,
medium, a psychic.
Exactly.
I
exactly.
rolled 3 9s, so all of my dice are passing.
Normally, that would be a
But-
pass.
But he rolled a crit.
No.
But I
So-
literally I rolled a 10. I always roll a 10. Like I always roll 1 die to see if the difficulty varies. And I just
Technically, I'm not lying. It was probably quick.
Being burned alive?
I don't
No,
think so.
no.
I'll say this. They don't, it's not like this turns into an argument or anything like this. That's not what happens. Like, that's not how this looks. But you can, I would say either of you, even if your insight's not particularly high, like you can tell there is a coldness that suddenly overtakes them a little bit. It's almost like they kind of just know looking at you. You're not sure if they're angry that you're lying or if they're, they understand why you would lie, but you can tell that
perhaps we're just very dumb and don't understand fire.
I don't think they think that. But it could be you're lying for a good reason.
They clearly know that we are not giving them
but they
the whole.
know, yeah. And they just kind of nod, sort of absently. And Calypso looks up from the necklace and is just like, I'd like to be alone now.
I'm sorry.
Yes, we our condolences.
Madame Helene will usher you out quickly, actually. No talking, no offering of tea, nothing like they would normally do. There's sort of this alacrity with which she wants to get you out of the shop. And Blossom sort of waves, but like Madame Helene kind of gives her a look, and you can see Blossom's normally bright face like suddenly shifts downward. The bell rings as she opens the door, and she just very flatly, without any real emotion, goodbye, and closes the door behind you.
Maybe we should have just let Eustace and Jacques talk to them.
Yeah, they'd have hated me, but I don't care.
Yeah.
This
Okay.
is- there was no good.
Okay.
No.
We had prevented more, but there was no good.
No
Okay.
easy answer.
So as the two of you get back in probably the El Camino and start heading back to the Sept or wherever it is you're going, we'll cut down into Duke. Duke, I'll say you were there for it. So you witnessed the carnage. Obviously, arguments could be had, how much of it was necessary, how much of it could be presented. But at the same time, your lives were truly in danger. So it's not as though like the violence happened like in a manner that wasn't called for. But what would Duke be doing over the next, say, 2 days after the aftermath of this?
Yeah, I think two things I think you'd want to do is try to see, I don't know where Duke goes to find this information, but somewhere he could try to research more about this black goop that everybody's inhaled in our pack and see if he can try and like identify what it might be. Obviously the cause could be what we've seen with these humans, right? Or the effect of it. So I think he wants to research that more so that way when he confronts the pack about it, he's more knowledgeable instead of trying to like scare them right away.
So the most knowledgeable elder in your sept is Adora, who is, I mean, there's not an official hierarchy, but she's kind of like the de facto figurehead in a way, as everyone just respects her. But she was also there when some of that when that was kind of inhaled. So she would probably be the best person within the sept to talk to about it. But if you wanted to go outside that and try to find somebody else that you can consult with, we can do that too.
Yeah, I think I'd prefer to do outside because she is like, let's just say infected for lack of a better word.
Let's see.
I do have Cairn access, so he does have the ability to like.
That's what I was going to say. There's probably, I mean, this isn't the only place. So how about this? Roll an etiquette, and then you could do like maybe a charisma. As you're really just trying to ingratiate yourself maybe to a different pact, a different cairn, different sept community.
Yeah, he's jumping ship.
Evan's going to start playing on Fridays instead.
Yeah.
That's okay. I got something for you on Fridays.
Okay.
Through this world.
All right. So you're going to meet. So we'll say you meet you. So we'll say there's another. Where are we? We're in Phoenix, right? Okay. So, and we've already sent you up north. So we'll send you south this time. You head south a ways to Tucson. As you know that there is a fairly large werewolf community that's right on the border, just south of Tucson. They are while they're wary of outsiders, you're familiar to them. You've visited them before. There's likely a person that you've probably consulted with before. Do we want to make a new contact right now? Should we do something like this? Let's
Sure.
yeah. So let's okay. Let's see what I got. I'm looking at my werewolf names. I just have to Google my list. Whoops. Not Google. I got to search my Google document. There, I know how to speak. So you meet who we got? Who do I have for you?
Doesn't Duke have a rancher contact, or was that a local?
A
I do,
ranger
yeah.
contact is not the type of person to the ranger
Yeah, I don't
contact
think
is a
this is
normal
the guy I
person. That's
want.
not a person to ask
Oh,
about
okay.
this.
This is the guy like from the
mystical-
bar. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is a person to ask about like local areas. Okay, we'll say. So we're gonna call. So it's gonna be a woman by the name of Mona Spirit Claw. She is, she's not like the elder. She's just a member of a pack. Probably a Philodox. And you are specifically asking about like that kind of that strange.
Yeah, I'm not
like,
going to
black
say
mass.
that
Okay.
anything has like happened to our pack specifically. It's
Okay.
more of like what we've experienced in our area.
So she'll she'll kind of she'll host you within their small little ranch community. You can see that they literally are a ranch. They have various animals that they kind of tend to here and there in a strange sense of the word. And so you're in kind of a dusty farmland, and sitting away from folk, kind of keeping this quiet so not too many people hear it. But she says, seen this before? It is not a pleasant substance. In fact, it is not a substance at all. It is residue of spirits, corrupted spirits that have begun to deteriorate and have not yet dissipated in its entirety. Think as metaphor how we break down, humans they do, break down items, plastics, glass into smaller and smaller pieces, and eventually they reuse it in this recycling effect. It is similar to this, except this substance is more volatile. We've seen that those who have been inhabited by Banes for a long period of time, a portion of this is left with them, as if a reminder. The body knows that it was once infested, and future infestations are now easier.
Have you encountered any way to either bind these spirits or purge them from anyone who's experienced it?
We, in our sept, have not done so. I have heard that there are some to the north who have experimented with a rite of expulsion.
Is it like a super old dude?
Yes. Yes, it is.
Damn it. I hate that guy.
He is a cousin.
Oh,
We
I
were
love that
once
guy.
Septmates. I am Spirit Claw, he is Dawn Claw.
I see.
I thought you would recognize it in the Claw name.
Well, I thought it'd be like a little more on the nose, like Dust and Dust or whatever you are, Dawn and Dawn. Anyways,
Listen,
yeah,
you're
he's
getting
great.
A
I
little
just
uppity for somebody who wants a favor.
I just thought I was the oldest werewolf here, you know? Like I was kind of trying to get all of the old werewolves together in the same pack. I got a couple young ones, but most of the old ones. And then I met him and he's like ancient. And I was like, I thought I was the old one.
Is this ego? You dislike him because of ego?
Yes. Don't you want to be like the respected one in your area? And I have someone stepping on my shoes. And he has a bunch of like teenagers with them.
Yes, they protect
It's weird.
him. It is. I have heard rumors that my former packmate has changed in recent years. He has grown eccentric in his silver years.
Okay, well, I'm not sure I'm going to talk to him, you know, because last time I met him at a Whataburger, his posse of teenagers didn't let me talk to him really, so it was kind of awkward.
Mm-hmm. They idolize him. Celebrity.
It's a little bit beyond that. It's kind of cultish, to be real. Yeah.
It is concerning.
Maybe you should talk to your cousin. Maybe you should reach out.
Do you wish it were you that they were idolizing and worshipping?
No,
Like Dust
not
Fang?
really. That's not my thing.
Is it not? If it were offered you, would you accept?
No. But thanks.
It was rhetorical.
Well, you're asking me questions and I'm just answering. I feel like last time we talked, it went better than this.
I don't No, maybe you were a little bit nicer, perhaps. But the door for you, let you inside. You brought Whataburger last time for us to. You didn't bring
Well, I'm a
anything
little bit
this time.
scarred, okay? Last time I went, I had that encounter and the tweens told me off, okay?
You are afraid of young millennials. Is that it?
I mean, isn't everyone?
Gen Z now.
Gen Z, even worse.
Exactly. They just get worse.
Perhaps with your age and wisdom that you are so very proud of, you might convince them to give you access to Dawnclaw.
Right. And then I'll be the oldest here.
Are you threatening to kill him?
All right, I'm going to go.
Okay. All right. So, Duke, you drive. You take a day trip down to Tucson, threaten to kill a cousin, former packmate, and then drive back to Gaia's Grove. Fantastic. All right. Kipser, was there more that Lou wanted to do in addition to meeting with...
Yes.
Oh, yeah? What are you doing?
You've given me a lot of paperwork.
Oh, yeah, I have. Indeed. Yeah.
So we did get in the van. If Lou is driving, Selena's about to get kidnapped a little bit. As we head in. We are totally going home to the Carol. I'll drop you off. Yes, of course. And we drive to the Heart and Soul bar, where I have left Riley, my detective partner, with Lucas is also just at the. It's okay, Eustace. He's old enough to be here. Eustace at the bar.
Okay, sure thing.
And we've taken over like a corner and the amount of paper that is being read and written on. So, Selena, if you can just read these and look for any discrepancies in the numbers, that will be helpful. There's only maybe 200 pages on this Excel printout.
I'm sorry, what am I looking at?
So you see, if the point isn't like a difference of like 0.02, then there is some sort of discrepancy. Maybe we should have graphed it out before printing it, but it's easy enough. You just look for the change in numbers that's unusual or unexpected.
Sure, I will be glad to help. This will be something to do to make me feel less bad.
Yes, great. And you can ask Lucas. He's here if you need any drink, or he can go grab that maybe from Eustace.
Hey Eustace, my mom said I can have a beer. Can I have a beer?
Oh yes, he can. It's all good.
Can I?
To look at the bartender who's seeing his liquor license evaporate.
Yeah, right.
Eustace does keep the equivalent of like some like artisanal art o'douls, but he'll just kind of he'll just like look at the kid. He'll make a whole show of like how I don't know, but he'll pour the kid the beer that's non-alcoholic.
Okay.
All right, just don't let anybody see this. Okay.
Okay.
Let him think he's getting away with something, but secretly he's not getting any alcohol.
Okay. Yeah. And
All
he
right,
goes
but
to
you're gonna have
drink
to work for it. Come on. I know. Come on to the
But he goes
smokehouse.
back.
Nobody sees you. And basically, I'm gonna put him to work, like helping out with a couple things here.
Sure. Yeah.
That way, he feels like he earned it.
Okay, so we go from serving a minor to child exploitation for labor.
Yep.
Excellent. Well done.
Yep. Doubling down on just being the worst.
It's fine. It's
14.
How old are you? 14?
14.
Never mind. Get to Arizona. We don't have laws like that. Okay. So I'm gonna say there's two bits of data to kind of sift through. There was the physical files, and then there was like the hard drives themselves, and you could do printouts and stuff like that. So basically, I'm gonna want 2 rolls. Selena, you can roll 1 for the investigative, and then Lou, you can do another one for the tech. Eustace, if you wanted to pitch in on one of them, you're welcome to assist on that if you want. For the hard drive one is going to be tech, and then you can pick whatever you want. Intro width's fine. And then for the other one, it's going to be investigation. Since you're literally just kind of going through and looking for for anything that might stand out based upon like Lou's guidance. But it is a lot of data. But there are a bunch of like a lot of the printed material that you grabbed. It's incomplete, but a lot of it's instructional documents, memos, things like that you can kind of sift through as well. So those are the rules.
Do you say this is intelligence investigation or wits investigation?
I'll use, in this case, you can take whatever you want. I don't care which one.
Yay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I can try and take a look, but
That's one success.
actually, yeah. Okay.
You roll 2 dice and you do better.
That is Jeremy and how he works.
That's my secret
Don't you
sauce,
know
man.
this by now?
Roll
Tell
something
me.
unskilled that I'm terrible at.
The more
See, I
dice
was rolling
Jeremy
too many
has,
dice before.
the worse he gets. The fewer dice,
Oh.
the better he is. That's
2
how it
successes.
works.
Sorry. One was a 7 and the other was a 1. So 6,
I'll say
7.
the two of you are
successes.
working on the non-tech physical stuff. We know how Eustace is with tech. And then Lou, how did you do on your tech? Work?
So I currently have 3 successes. However, now because I broke technology in the last session, I only get 1 willpower back, which means I have 2 for the whole session. But I'm going to use one of them to re-roll 3 dice to see if I can get a better roll.
All right. And I do think, what are we doing for audience dice again? I think we reroll 1 die, right? Isn't that what we were doing?
Yes.
I think that's what we were doing.
Yep.
Okay. Remind me later to add the counter in this system. I totally forgot to do it.
Okay.
That is 4 successes, and I won't dip into the audience dice yet.
4 is fine. 4 is plenty. Okay, so let's go through this then. So physical files, largely printed memos, instructional documents. You can see that they are describing all manner of procedure and like policy changes, operational and maintenance instructions on various like equipment that's within it. There's a ton of operational reports as well that seem to have been printed, but they're largely summative. They're like kind of like cover, like the cover pack for a larger report that's probably data filled, but it's just like the summary page. What Eustace and Selena you see come up quite frequently is like they refer to a subject, and that is like capital S. It's kind of referred to that way. They seem to be monitoring behavioral changes, such here and there. You can see that the summary pages are kind of quantifying some of those changes into numerical stuff. Like you're seeing like frequencies and amplitudes and things like that. The reports you have go back a couple of years. They're incomplete. You don't have a ton of them. It's like you just grabbed a couple hanging file folders and such, and whatever was in there. Maybe there was other years, etc. But most recent reports, for the most part, only still show like these little incremental aberrations and changes, like almost negligible changes. And the conclusion almost on every single one of these is subject remains docile, mapping processes continue unabated. Like you keep saying that over and over and over again. And each one of these reports, at least for the last like 2 years, is being directed to a very specific person, a project manager at Echo Labs by the name of Sasha Bennett. And so that's what you find in the physical files. Now, for the hard drives and the data that you kind of pull off, Lou, it is a treasure trove of raw data, just tons and tons and tons of data. It's the very data probably that those reports are kind of being summative of. And it just seems like these have been kind of monitoring devices, and they've been monitoring various frequencies, various signals, the kind of inputting out. It's a listening station that does seem to be accurate, but it doesn't seem like it's kind of corresponding to anything that might be confused with like TV signals or radio signals or cellular signals. It's nothing like that. It's something else. Like it's almost, I would say, Lou, with 4 successes, like they found a way to almost quantify like the signals coming from the Umbra in some way. It's like in this weird way they're trying to do that. What you notice also, in addition to that, is that there appear to be other Echo Lab stations in the region that you see popping up. One of them is only about an hour and a half southeast of Gaia's Grove, and the metadata that you're getting, that you're pulling off some of these reports, does actually provide a latitude and longitude. A second one pops up, but there's a lot of like corruption in terms of this data. It's entirely unclear. It does seem to be westward, And it does seem to be localized around a nuclear generating station, like way west, like a good 2.5, almost west of where you're at. But you don't really have as precise a data on that one. But you do have like the latitude and longitude of one of the other two Echo Lab sites. And the other thing I would say, by the way, for the people doing the physical, you do know that the program management is being sent to a local site downtown Phoenix. There's an office building somewhere downtown that's being sent to. And that's, I would say, what the three of you are able to glean from a lot of what you took. If you have specific questions, you can ask them, but that's that's pretty much the whole shebang.
So yeah, while they're working on that, Riley, I feel her partner is probably working on the legal aspect of what laws we can catch them on, if any. And also, I will ask her to please investigate Selena, what was the name of the persons that you found in there?
All of the numbers in here just other homework next time. Maybe just
really fun.
No decimals and zeros and ones and
That's
all
great.
that.
You can graph it and you can make
Thank God
I'm really
Jacques
gonna
not there.
really gonna need a rest around the fire later.
Oh yes, here.
Believe.
And Lou will grab a cigarette and then hold one out for you as well. Oh yes, this helps, and then we don't need to eat or sleep so much.
All the documents catch on fire.
Sasha Bennett. That was the name.
Sasha Bennett. Okay. Riley, can you please investigate Sasha Bennett while we continue through these documents?
Okay. So do you want Riley to PI, go seek this person out, find them, follow them, that kind of thing? Okay.
Yes.
I will make a note. It's going to take a little while, obviously. It's not going to be instant, but absolutely. So Riley is on the case. Perfect. Okay.
Man, Lucas, your mom sure is lucky. She knows what makes her happy. I hope you do the same. Find something that just you see what makes you tick, keeps you centered the way she is. That's just great.
You got any wings?
Yeah, I do.
You got to be polite, Lucas. Be polite. I did not hear a please or thank you.
I mean, that honestly,
come in there.
Thank you.
That is the thank you to the chef. So that just means he's indulged greatly. If you want wings, you're gonna make your own wings, and I'm gonna show you how.
Okay. All right, and so we'll fade from the scene again in Heart and Soul of Eustace teaching.
Now, the trick is you boil them first, and then you freeze them so that you can flash fry them later, so they're extra crispy.
He's just nodding, and we fade, and we come up, and where are we, Jacques? What is Jacques doing in these 48-hour aftermath here?
So during the day, you're going to find Jacques as a big black wolf out at the wolf sanctuary in a dog pile with the other wolf pack sleeping off the heat of the day, relaxing, enjoying the big fat steaks that the animal handlers throw over. Being the wolf that he is, but at night he heads into the city and he finds Isabel and they go hunting. For humans, for the worst of the humanity and anyone who gets in their way. But his main reason for tracking Isabel down over those 2 nights is he wants to ask her what she or her corte, particularly the Nosferatu that's in her group, know about lockroom control. And he will also explain to her the weird amalgamation of the worm and weaver that they dealt with and see if she's heard of anything like that happening. Or anything about that at all in her clique.
So I rolled a die to see kind of how much she would know, and she'll. So as you're just in an alleyway downtown somewhere, Van Buren or whatever, or something like that, you're just ripping a dude apart. You can see his eyes kind of got this orange tinge to him. There's some new drug that's been cascading through the neighborhoods here and there, and a lot of.
They make a nice pop when you chew on them.
Oh. And as you talk to her and as you kind of bring up Lockroom, you can see she kind of stiffens a little bit. And she's like, "Oh, my dear Jacques, I have heard strange rumors of them. They're a cadre, not Not one of mine, but got into bed with them, apparently. They are like lice. They are infecting here and there. They are a tool, someone pulling their strings, I think. But one, I believe, vampire, one of mine, turned to dust from dealing with them. They are like hammer. They hit and hit. They do not think. They do not have brains. There is someone doing the thinking for them. They are being sent to this place and that. I've been seeing them pop up here and there. Security here, security there, infiltration here. None of mine, of course, are dealing with them. But whoever funds them, whoever is behind them, has very deep pockets.
Oh, Monsieur, their blood is very, very thin, and their livers are spoiled. I would not cross with them if you did not have to.
Yeah.
There's bad juju there.
Yeah. Blood is blood. Some taste better than others.
They're thick with the bane out there where we were at. I know. I know the worm. You and the worm have a different relationship, but they're thick with the bad bane, calling down the full plague on the land and everything around it. All the animals that we revere were falling before it.
I have heard stories, rumors from those young ones who prance around in the night and play with their tech. There is a presence wafting through. They see it there, listening. We thought it was, what is it? Big Brother, the humans listening in, but it is more insidious than that. There's something infecting the human networks, as it is.
Yeah. We saw, that Weaver thing that we fought. It was all tied in there, causing all those power fluctuations, making all their phones. At first, I thought this be a blessing, no phones, no power, go back to the old ways, but something worse going on there.
She smiles at that. Yes, I still have a flip phone. I don't like these at all. But in the clubs, the young ones have noticed things, strange sounds echoing, addling minds here and there, echoing left and right and left and right. It is causing problems, much like this drug. The streets are different. The minds that we are encountering.
Is this drug one of your people's drugs?
No, not mine. But the one that was turned to dust. Yeah, they were hers.
It's bad business. You see Jacques lean over this corpse and starts licking it so all its wounds disappear.
It is not my business. Will never be my business.
Well, you hear anything that might concern me and mine, something that I can get into and tear out the throat of, you know how to reach me.
And so sure, of course, mon chéri. And she just kind of like runs a little finger kind of down the down your back, like just kind of like right behind the ear a little bit. And then you just see her like, I shall return to the shadows. And she just kind of just retreats into like this like darker, shadowy area. And then you can hear her footsteps and then you hear nothing at all as she kind of just disappears from the scene.
Jacques just turns back into a wolf with a big wolf smile on his face and starts padding out of the city.
So time passes, a couple days. Everyone goes about their errands, their tasks. And we'll say, Duke, you come back into town. You're only gone for probably a day. You come back into town, back at Heart and Soul. We can see it's been turned into like this de facto library section where all these papers are all over the place. Various laptops have been set up, and you can see like Lou and her son are kind of like working on them here and there. And as you're kind of sharing some of what you learned, Lou and Selena and Eustace, when you bring up the notion of there being other sites in the region. Duke, you have these old maps. You kind of collected them here and there. You have all this kind of topographical data, this historical data here and there. And you start doing this like comboing of it. And you look at where some of these things are popping up and where some of these other things are popping up. One of the things you noticed, Duke, was that it was an old cairn from decades ago, long abandoned. Probably Silverfang tribe at some point had run had a sept there, but had fallen when kind of everything started to kind of go to shit. And it was never kind of recovered. And you notice that that now that you're kind of looking at it, that listening station, that Echo Labs listening station that you had all kind of gone into, was at the site of one of these. You notice as you're looking at this map that's kind of pointing out these different locations. There's no highways, there's no city lines, there's nothing like that. It's all just like this geographical or this geological look of things. And you do notice that there was this abandoned cairn out west that is several decades old that kind of got run. Something happened out there around the time that nuclear station was kind of building up. And then southeast of you, about an hour and a half or so, there was a cairn down here. And Duke, you've done enough research that there was a pack down there that kind of lost touch with Gaia's Grove, and not so much lost touch, just this basically a fracture, and it's because they were a stargazer, a pack. This sort of not full enemies, but they kind of just approach things differently. They look at things differently. Like they serve Gaia in a way that doesn't quite align with the way in which normal, most of your Garo packs do. And they kind of gravitated down in that direction. It's this location that just sort of exists in this interstitial state between, population centers, like just nowhere area. And as you kind of start comparing some of your maps with some of what Lou's figuring out, you literally are almost pinpointing this latitude, longitude coordinate to a cairn that they had been known to inhabit. And again, the data out west is a little bit more inaccurate, but you have this one specific location that does seem to have been a cairn that had been kind of abandoned or detached or excommunicated from sort of normal Geru social circles.
Well, it's pretty interesting.
Yes,
Although
the correlation is interesting indeed.
Yeah, I know. I feel like we should maybe have a talk about what happened the past few days. What do you guys think?
I feel like you're coming at this a little bit you're thinking you're from a high position, but
I mean, I'm just reading the room is a little down. Eustace is making like hot pepper beer or something. That's a little weird.
Yeah. Okay,
Selena
so
looks depressed. There's a lot of cigarettes in here.
It's very important to smoke.
Actually, I'm feeling pretty good now.
I'm here to tell you, this is fantastic for me. We did our job. We called the humans. We stopped the Weaver. We stopped the world.
You can't keep calling the humans. The ones that go into nature are the ones that are most connected with Gaia and should be protected versus the ones in the cities that are causing these issues.
No, I kill the ones in the cities more than I kill the ones in the wild.
If you have to kill them, you are killing the wrong ones.
So, Duke,
No,
in
you-
answer
you-
to
you
your
miss-
question,
I kill most of the ones in the city, only occasionally the ones in the wild.
The ones in the wild are the ones connected with Gaia. Would you kill a wolf that's just running around in the woods who's connected with Gaia?
If necessary, yes.
if necessary. Sure, okay, yes, sometimes. But the ones that are just in nature are the ones connected to nature. The ones we want to keep alive.
No.
So,
Yes.
Duke, in answer to your question, because we haven't heard that conversation 502 other times before, I'm sure. We had this job specifically for a human sister of a friend of Lou's and mine. And we lost sight of that and maybe could have saved her and did not.
Right. And that's what I'm trying to enlighten all of us, kind of looks at Jacques specifically, that there are good humans and good people out there. Not everyone's good, but in this scenario, it was a little weird because they also weren't in control of their mind. So we have to be somewhat mindful in the decisions we make, especially when we're trying to help Selena and Lou's friend. That's all I'm trying to say is try to maybe think a little bit more next time so that we don't have this kind of emotional backlash.
Yeah. You feel free to participate more next time too, and feel a little bit of the weight yourself.
I'm a behind the scenes type of guy. So
I hear what you're saying, Duke, but if we had not fought as hard as we did, Selena would have not walked away from that.
it's true.
It wasn't that
wounds.
easy.
I am still. I mean, this is why Lou sits me down to look at numbers and decimal points, because that is about all I am good to do at the moment. To
Honestly,
sit.
And
You're
the
not
worm
wrong.
has taken them. None of those people will ever be normal again. The worm owns them now.
Yeah, and that was unfair, Duke. I'm sorry. You do make a good point. We should come at things in that way. Sometimes lives are on the line. It's difficult.
No, I understand. I just want us to be aware of choices that we can make. And, just because, the mood's real shit right now, I was going to bring up something else. So you remember multiple occasions where you guys just decide to open your mouth and all this black goo just keeps going in your bodies? You guys remember all that or no?
Ways that we help the
Oh, I
spirits.
thought because the mood was shit, you were going to make us feel better. I don't think this is going to make us feel better. I just want to prepare for what.
No, I'm just double down. That's what I'm going for.
Okay.
You mean the
Rip in
part
the
where we-
Band-Aid.
Thinking that we're already rock bottom, so there's no.
Selena reaches over to Lou to see if she's got another light.
Oh yes,
We're
yes.
going to
Here,
take
let
this
me.
information
Here you
in.
go.
Yes, let's go to addiction. It's good.
Here you are.
All right. So you guys keep inhaling all of this black gunk that we've seen all these humans be corrupted with. We've seen these weird monsters, whatever, right? And it's not good. I'm doing research on how to either find a way to bind it to something else, or if you can believe this, there is an older werewolf up north that supposedly knows how to, but he's kind of a douche and he has this little posse of tweens that just surround him so you can't get to him.
God, an old werewolf that's a douche.
Yeah.
I mean, I wasn't going to say it.
I'm sorry.
But anyway, supposedly he knows how to maybe expulsion, is that what they said, from your body or something? But I don't know if we want to get in league with that guy. He's a little.
I mean, if that can be done, that does sound wonderful. It's on one hand, I feel like part of the reason we're here is to make the sacrifice for the greater good of the green, however you want to say it. So if I gotta give up a part of myself so that something greater than myself can flourish, I'll do it.
Yeah, and you guys
but
are
I would rather not have it in me. I'm not saying I want to walk around with this corruption in my lungs. That's not what I want.
No, so I hear what you're saying though. So if it takes this potentially uncomfortable conversation with this older wolf, we should suffer through that potentially uncomfortable conversation for the greater good of learning how to get rid of this. Right? That right, Eustace? That's what you were saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just saying the issue is going to be that supposedly when you become infected like you all are, you become more susceptible to it. So the more we keep running into this, which if we just did some research, there's the cairns that are clearly potentially sites where this is occurring. You guys are going to continue to be exposed to it, and it could turn into what we've seen.
Well, if we weren't willing to eat the weird black smoke in the umber, would our care not be the same as the ones that are now destroyed? We should investigate that as well to see what's happened to them. If there was the same kind of attack that went after us.
Yeah. But
Duke is right. If we can go up and learn this right from this other Garou, then we could cleanse ourselves, and if we were exposed again, cleanse ourselves again.
And if we do learn it and we have a way to get it out of you, I have a way to bind it to something. So we could potentially find something inanimate, like I don't want to say a tree because that's natural, but a piece of plastic, I don't know, and bind these, because it's essentially like broken down spirits that are inside you. So we could try to bind it somewhere.
If we want something that's nearly indestructible, there's you can sometimes find them at pawn shops still. The Nokia bar phone is very good.
Duke pulls one out.
Yes, like that. If we put them in there.
Wait, but this is my only phone. We have to get a different one, but sure.
I would have thought there would be some other object that we could put it in that wouldn't have power behind it.
Like a rock. I don't know.
Yes, a rock or a table or a bottle of beer.
If we're going to go do this and meet this guy, I'm telling you right now, we're going to Whataburger and we are going to have our chest puffed the fuck out and show this guy and his tweens who the real pack is. And
no, I'm not bringing no Whataburger bullshit. I'm going to make him something.
You guys did Burger King shit. Why can't I do Whataburger?
I did not go to Burger King.
I didn't go either, but I heard about it. And you know what happened? There was 20 dead people. So can't be worse than that.
There's not 20.
In all fairness, I did not kill anyone at Burger King. I got the job.
Allowed to.
Chests are out if we're going into Whataburger.
Eustace, you think we should parlay?
Oh man, no, I'm just saying I'm not buying anything from Whataburger. I'm not gonna buy a burger. Come on, I'm gonna make something here.
It's okay.
Yeah.
I
We're
think
going
it's
to
just the
picnic
only
up
place
this road trip.
Yeah, I think their territory is only Whataburger because that's where all the kids go. So
I thought we were sponsored by Burger King. We're doing whatever. One thing we didn't address that we actually should. You guys brought some bodies with you, so you didn't just burn everyone there. What did you do with them? So you had bodies that were basically some diner folk, and you had some bodies that certainly seemed to be employees of the station or of this lockroom organization. What did you do with them?
Not the lockroom ones, but the normal civilians. We got the forgotten records and just leave them in a little row outside the emergency door.
Okay, so you brought them over to the emergency room and you left them there? Okay.
Yes.
Would Duke know
records to make sure that we aren't recorded?
That if we has any of the dead that we've found still had the gunk inside them, or is it released when they die?
I would say up until now you hadn't really looked at any. I think you guys have been ritually getting rid of them. I think you donated some of the bodies that you had to the ASU med guy. You burned the facility, the listening stations. I don't think you actually really looked into it at all.
Okay, this seems like stuff when Duke wasn't here. All right, Duke wants to look at the bodies before we drop them off somewhere, just to double check.
You can have the LC bodies. We don't need to.
We can't drop off any bodies if there's stuff inside them because it's going to continue to infect. It's it's.
Okay.
Okay. Let's do. What do we want to do? A cult probably, and I don't know. Intelligence or wits, one of those two probably.
Sure.
I can give you the help action for the occult, as I have that as well.
So you roll and see if you give me a bonus die? right?
Yeah, sure. Let me
Is that what it
just
works?
intelligence and occult, not a problem. It's 5 dice. Yeah, I got 2 successes. If that gives you a help.
No, I think you just. I'm trying to remember how it
Yeah, I
was.
can't
I
remember
thought you
what it
just
was
get
either.
a plus. I think you just get a plus. An extra die in your
Okay.
pool. I think.
Okay.
No. Is that right, Melissa? I'm totally blanking on
I
that assist
am
roll.
looking it up right now. I thought it was just adding a die.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, it's just add a die. Yeah, I'm looking.
Okay,
at it right
4 successes.
Excellent.
now. Okay. All right. So if you are looking at the bodies from the listening station, you do notice, I would say, if anyone was doing any kind of study of them, if you're doing any kind of ritual, if you're using penumbra sense, whatever it is, like you are using all of your various tools at your disposal, you can definitely tell a few things. One, that they are most certainly alive, as like all of their biological stuff is working. 2, they are comatose. They never wake up at all. They seem to be in some kind of coma. 3, that it almost seems, if you're helping, I would say the metaphor that kind of seems like for you is that it's like a programming wise, it's like almost like an infinite loop. They're waiting for input and it's just sort of hanging right now. And then Duke, if you're specifically trying to get a sense of it, of whether or not there's any of that residue, that kind of spiritual residue, yeah, it certainly seems that way. Lou, roll, in addition to that, roll a tech int, we'll say.
If they are
works.
stuck in some sort of do every loop, the tech is and the int is okay. Let's see. A 10 and an 8. So that is 2 successes.
Okay. You can tell that it's something. So that's all you have. You only have 2 dice for tech and in.
Oh, no,
that was
I
what
have
you were good at.
5 dice, but I rolled 2 successes.
Oh, 2 successes. Okay. Okay. So 2, you can tell that
Would
it's.
it be beneficial to use my
It
willpower to roll?
would. Difficulty 3
Okay.
on this one. So that's why I was.
Okay. No
Yeah.
worries. Melissa, can I have an audience dice for this roll, actually? I would like to.
Say no.
Yes, you can.
Say no.
Thank you very much. I will re-roll. Oh, there we go. 3 success. There's another 10.
Okay. Something is actively trying to connect. You can tell. Like it's like like, again, this is all metaphor. It doesn't work exactly like this, but it's as if someone continues to try to kind of connect an old-fashioned modem, and like it keeps dropping. It's just not quite making that connection. Between what you're seeing here, between what Jacques heard from Isabel, it's like there's something. Like there's even though this listening station was kind of melted down, burnt down, there's still these strange kind of corrupted signals being shifted and sent around the area. They don't seem to be able to kind of lock into them, but they're still reaching out for them.
Like mentally.
Yeah, there's
Or
there's
spiritually?
this white
Spiritually is
noise
probably more accurate. Yeah.
Okay.
the back of my head that is just, it's not fully connecting. It tries, it gets higher, and then it goes away.
Okay.
Zombies.
Yeah, well, that means we cannot drop any of these bodies in a public place. They need to be buried in somewhere we know
They are still
specifically.
alive. We are not burying them.
What do you want to do with them?
Once Duke says
them.
once Duke says bury him, Jacques just starts
Nope.
tearing
You
throats.
guys burnt down a whole trailer full of them, and now you can't bury 3 bodies.
No, they are living. We can just leave them in the hospital for the hospital to take care of.
But
we can't because if the
Is the
stuff comes out
hospital
of-
if
Are
they
they
are
still
connected,
living
they
right
can,
now?
Yes.
So we can just leave them here?
If this thing connects back up to them and they turn into zombies, these creatures, they almost killed us, and then they rampage across this town and kill other humans that you wish to protect. These are the enemy. They are infected by the worm and the weaver both.
But we
It
need
is a
to
whole
have
job
people...
to destroy them.
Right, but Duke is going to take us to the aged wise one who is going to tell us.
Okay, let's
how
not toot his horn. All right, this guy's a jackass.
And he's going to show us how to capture these things. And so then we come back here and then we have the bodies that have the stuff in it to do the thing and see if it works.
What if they wake
Do
up
we
before
have-
we get back?
Do we have somewhere in the grove we could seal them, like until we get back? Like,
Of course.
you know.
Yeah, you can do that.
Okay, let's do that. We will temporarily seal them. We'll come when we come back. We can deal with it later. But none of these bodies can go to public because if that stuff comes out,
Got it.
but maybe I don't know. Should you guys wear like masks or something in case it happens again? Like I don't know what if maybe that helps. I don't know.
That sounds like an idea. Yes, I have got a bandana. I can make it work.
I mean, I'm not the one that's done it, so you guys are the ones dying. I'm just trying to help.
Should we
inhaled
break
this
the knees
on
of
our
these?
No, Jacques, don't do that.
No, Duke didn't inhale anything.
Well,
He left.
isn't it nice to be you?
No peeing on some either.
Still trying so hard to have Lucas not have to listen to this.
Lucas is, he's a teenager. He's got earbuds in, right?
Probably listening to music at this point. Yes, he's very much into the pirate metal right now, I think.
What?
What band are you listening to again?
Joni Mitchell?
I don't know about that. I don't think I believe you, but okay.
No, yeah, that checks out. He is.
Okay.
So we're gonna
And that's
tie them up,
fine.
lock them in a building here, so that we can test the theory when we come back, and we're not dropping them anywhere, and we're not killing them right now. Middle ground.
What
Everyone-
if we gone more than a couple days, they die of dehydration anyway. No
Well,
matter
we
to me.
ask someone in the grove to. I know it matters not to you. We ask someone in the grove just to take care of them every now and again.
We're gonna take them to the grove and risk
Exactly,
the cairn to the corruption. We cannot do that.
We can't let anybody know because what's her name? What's our elder? What was the other lady?
Adora.
Adora. Yeah. Because Adora also ate the stuff, drank the stuff. I don't know what we're going to call it. We probably need to come up with a name. But anyway, she did it too, so she can't watch it because what if it comes out of the bodies and then she eats it and then we have Behemoth 2.0? Only somewhere we know. And you know what? I have just the place. So Duke has obscure safe house as one of his advantages.
Ooh.
So we will.
Fantastic.
And that I don't
Describe
think
it.
Duke. Yeah, Duke is probably would have never taken anyone here unless it was like something he felt was very concerning. And it's probably just some kind of old farmhouse, way off the beaten path. It's not in like horrible condition. It's like in an okay condition. He definitely goes there often. But when you walk in, it's not big. It's maybe a couple bedrooms, but it's just filled with all of his research. You see maps on the walls, all different ages. You see like different points of string leading to different things. And he's been putting to pieces like all of this different information, stuff about his kind of background, but other random things too. But in here, he has all of this information that he's probably not shared a lot of it to you, but desperate times call for desperate measures. So anyways, just don't look at anything and we'll put the bodies in here. It's not really that important.
I roll an investigation.
Oh,
Bear spray.
Investigation. Investigation wits. Go for it,
I
Lou.
don't know what you're doing, saying don't look at anything and bringing Lou in here.
Even worse, he's got like a spray bottle that has water mixed with vinegar.
He's
Yeah, he is crying for the next 30 minutes.
oh no!
Why would you do this?
I said don't look at it.
I can't help it.
Oh my God.
It's
People
my
on there
character.
always look at it.
Now, see, that's the thing where you do what we call a leader, where you put something out there that you tell them not to do, and then you know they'll do it, but then they focus on that instead of what you really care about.
Well, that's why I have the spray bottle, because you guys are a bunch of cats.
Jacques not even going inside. Jacques just sitting outside. He's like, I don't want to have anything to do with these bodies.
So when you bring them inside, so you have all the bodies. We'll say there were a total of, 7 total bodies that survived.
No, you can roll an investigation check. I don't really care, actually.
7 total bodies
Sorry.
from the listening station, mixture of the like diner folk, locker folk, station folk, etc. So you're bringing them into your safe house. So are you just like dropping them there? Are you securing them in a particular way?
I think
Are you
I would
telling a certain
lock-
person to go there and feed them if you're gone for an extended
Yes,
period of time.
Lucas, it's your job. You're 14 years old, so it's time for your to-do responsibility. We've been working on the driving.
Well, isn't Whataburger
What?
like an hour and away?
Yes.
Well,
This
these
is-
people are in a coma, so you're going to have to hook them up to IVs.
Exactly.
You understand
That's
that?
kinda where I'm going, yeah.
So we
Why
just
not?
all we need is just saline bags, right? We just
You need nutrients and
I mean, that'll keep them
Just switch the
hydrated,
bag
but-
out.
I think, but that won't necessarily. Yeah. Okay. Are you tasking?
I thought
someone-
Whataburger was like an hour or two.
So
It's-
so you keep calling it Whataburger. God damn it! It's north. So it's north of Phoenix. So you're talking about an hour and a half away, 2 hours north. Somebody that's depending on traffic.
Yeah,
so
I mean-
it's literally a different town.
Right, I know, but we could be back in like 4 or 5 hours.
You could be.
If
awesome.
everything
or it
goes
could take
over
us
well.
3 days.
You could be.
Stockpile
Could-
so much.
could take a
quality
month to
food
learn
for
the
y'all, and
ritual.
you
Look.
keep wanting to go to these fast food places. Just it hurts my feelings.
It's been I don't know. I mean, it's hard to say, right? We can't leave them with proper care. Let's just be honest. So the best bet is we be quick and come back. I don't know how quick that can be, but
Well, there is one person that we seem to know in our correspondences who has a doctor in front of their name, who's a hypnotherapist. It looks like Selena.
she is not in the know at
guys do have
all. That's
You do have Joaquin Fulbright from ASU,
Right,
who you
the
give
one who
cadavers
takes
to
the
as well.
bodies.
Yeah.
The
Could
question
get
is
him-
would we want to put one of our trusted allies potentially in harm's way by having him take care of 7 people who may turn into ravening,
Yeah.
ghoulish killers?
And also, in fairness, this is the guy who does the somewhat shady business of taking bodies. If things ever went sour, maybe Duke doesn't want to have that guy be in the know where his safe house is.
right. Let's just take a chance.
You also have 2 other there's 2 other werewolf packs because there's 3 werewolf packs in the SEP community. One of whom though is going to go if you guys aren't going to go check out like some of the other Echo Labs locations, they're going to go. So they're going to go in your stead if you're going up. So you'll have to tell me how you tell Adora that you're not doing it though, since you don't want to tell her what you're doing or something like that. So you
I
have to
do
explain it.
plan
to her,
No,
but one
it's
of
not
them's
that
going to be
I-
Going
leaving.
to the Echo Labs after we visit this Whataburger place.
I don't think I mind telling Adora what we're doing. I just don't think she needs to be involved necessarily. Like, I don't see what
Okay.
she's going to bring to help.
I mean, best case scenario, you guys get back by 2:00 in the morning. Worst case scenario, you guys get back in 2 weeks. So it's like you guys tell me.
yeah, because you never know when we get up there what other thing we might find
Yeah.
and what other
Oh, I
thing we
do.
might
I'm
need to do.
completely comfortable just leaving them.
I know you are. Just let them waste away.
It would be a mercy to put them out of their misery.
You know what? Let's just say Selena's vote would be cadaver person.
He already has a doctor degree of some kind.
Yeah, it could be like doctorate of zombies. I mean, this guy could have a whole horde by the time we're done giving him bodies.
You
Well,
have
I
been
mean,
giving him dead bodies over and over again.
We've
So
already been giving.
Yeah,
him
like
write
we've
that
already been
idea
doing
down.
that.
Right.
so-
This is news to me,
Yeah,
okay?
alrighty.
No one texted me and told me that we've been giving bodies to you.
You don't answer your text
Well,
messages. What are
we
you talking
don't
about?
have to run every decision that we make by you. Sometimes, when you're gone, we have to make decisions and not just let them all pile up and wait for you to come back.
You do
All
seem
right.
to always disappear when the tough decisions come up.
All right.
So,
let's go
time to
ahead
vote.
and
Who
make a
are we,
choice.
doing?
What's
are we-
going on here? Yeah.
I mean, we could just drop them off as a hospital, but
No, they're going to.
No.
okay, so it's a
Yeah,
cadaver.
no.
cadaver
So it sounds like
man.
cadaver or leave him here.
Yes,
Just
those are
leave
the
him
two
here.
options.
I think live him here. I mean,
Leave them
sometimes you
here.
just got to take a leap of faith, and we're
It's
not
like-
going to get a perfect situation. We
Yeah, it's
just
the
aren't.
ethical dilemma of the few or the many. And we're going to sacrifice the few in case they turn into zombies and don't affect
Again.
the many.
Is it?
It's not like they weren't already horrible mass murdering zombies. If it happens again, and it could.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Okay.
On the road we go then.
Okay. So you leave them at Duke's safe house. You spent almost the entire day debating this. It was a very lengthy conversation. Literally hours and hours went by. Luke listened to like every Joni Mitchell album in the process. And you finally get on the road sometime
Yep.
late afternoon, evening.
Lucas, can I teach you how to make a hamburger? Don't go to Whataburger. Whataburger's stupid. Burger King is stupid. I want to teach you how to make your own hamburger. Don't listen to
I
these
like
fools.
Whataburger. I like their commercials. They're funny.
They are funny. But if you
I don't like
could
Burger
cook
King though.
Burger King.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah. Okay. Well, you guys have fun. I'm just gonna poke these bodies. So
Okay, just make sure that they have some liquid every like 12
Bye,
hours
Mom.
or something. Bye. Don't forget to drive safely and don't get
bye,
caught.
Mom.
There's also cameras in here, so don't do things stupid.
Bye, Mom.
Yes, you.
If they start to get up and froth at the mouth and attempt to kill you, run as fast as you can. It will not be fast enough. You will die, but do your
Jacques
best.
is joking.
I am not joking. I am being very honest. I like you, boy.
Okay.
I'll leave a cricket bat with him that says attitude adjuster on it. I usually
Can I
keep this at. I mean,
Okay,
obviously,
just-
not unless
Only
they
if
actually
they
get
are
up.
zombies. You remember Shaun of the Dead?
You didn't let me watch it.
Well, what one did I let you watch? 28 Days Later?
Yeah, that's the one. It
Okay,
wasn't. They
well-
weren't zombies. They were just really pissed off. And you said that made it different.
Did I? Well, okay. If he's
Some
they
good
look like
parenting.
that, I'm the best parent.
Okay. So you guys leave Luke in charge of 7 of these people inside Duke's hidden whatever the hell it is, safe house. And you guys begin to travel north up towards Josiah Dawnclaw in his little cult
Whataburger, yes.
of Gen Zers. So are we driving and are we like convoying? Are we doing are you guys taking the El Camino? What's the deal?
Duke will
I
drive
can-
his Bronco.
I can drive the El Camino for
Can have more
everybody else.
cars.
Okay.
Jacques will curl up in the back of the Bronco as a wolf and go to sleep.
Okay. Sounds good. So is it just the one vehicle then? I'm sorry. One vehicle?
I
was
am
totally not
El
paying attention
Camino
to
and
you.
Bronco.
2.
Okay. All right. So those of you who are driving, do me a favor. Let's say we'll do an awareness wits as you're just kind of keeping an eye on the road. Jacques, you've curled up and you have started taking a nap in the back of the El Camino. Selena, I want to get an idea of where everybody is. I know Jacques is in the El Camino.
Jacques is in the Bronco.
Jacques is in the Bronco. Okay, so Jacques is in the Bronco. Who's in the Bronco with Jacques? Who's driving?
Duke.
Okay,
Duke.
Duke is driving. Jacques is curled up. Everybody else is in the El Camino.
Yeah.
Yes.
Man,
Okay.
Lucas is a cool kid.
He's going to be the first of us to die, but he is a cool kid.
She sacrificed her own son. No one made her do that.
I did not
It's true.
sacrifice my
It is
son. All right, so both the drivers
You guys are in the
become-
Bronco. You're not in this conversation.
with some awareness.
This is just Aaron remembering Hunter.
Yes.
I didn't.
I mean,
even,
he's my kid, and it's
she
genetics.
just literally
so-
served him up to me on his silver
I know
platter.
that.
She's like, here, destroy him. And I'm like, okay,
Okay.
fine.
I got it.
You're gonna go back. You're gonna go back and you're gonna find they're all gone. And all that's left is like like a chicken wing, and that was Luke. That was basically what it was.
Oh.
But he
Face
made a
plastered
really
on
good
the inside of
chicken
the
wing.
door.
I was happy to sacrifice the hospital.
Oh my
Okay.
God.
Or he's
What are
going to wolf
those-
out for the first time.
Yes.
What are those awareness tests? Give me those awareness tests.
3 successes.
Okay. So 3 successes. You notice at a certain point, Lou, you guys leave. It's late afternoon, early evening, sun's going down. You get out of Phoenix by the time the sun's out. You're on the mountain roads here and there. It's basically 2-lane, and there's like some winding roads and stuff, and you're sort of in between these sort of population centers around here and there. At a certain point, Lou, you notice that you guys you think you might be being followed. You see a vehicle a ways back. When you sort of maybe do these little practice things where you slow down, speed up, slow down, see if you're doing it, and they kind of do the same thing. They're a ways back. They're a good quarter mile back or so, but you're kind of on, maybe not quite that far, but you can see that they're just maintaining that distance with you the whole time. And we'll say it's about maybe 40 minutes of this. Now, it's certainly possible they could just be driving up north to Flagstaff or something to have fun, but it's the middle of the week. That's kind of a weird time to do it. Usually happens on the weekend. It's not very crowded right now because it's middle of the week, so it's not like this isn't like everyone's fleeing the counties. There's not that many cars on the road, but it does seem as though like you guys are actually, there's a vehicle back there. I'll say, Luke, as you're driving.
Selena, Eustace is a car behind us. It seems like we've got a bit of a tail. Someone will need to text. Hopefully, Duke will pick up the phone, but I can't text and drive.
West Virginia.
Unfortunately, I can hear him. The windows are open.
He sings that song for Jacques like
Right.
every time they're in the car.
Here's what we do. We get our
Here's Jacques.
flashlight and we hook it on and off Morse code style back to him.
Okay, well, let's maybe.
I bet Duke knows Morse code.
Do either of you have a good look maybe at the driver behind us? I know
if
they're
you
far away, but
It's a ways back, but you've been noticing the same vehicle, the same pace. Whenever you've sped up, slowed down, maybe at one point you get off and you get gas, and they get off and you get, it's just a lot. It could be just coincidence, but maybe not.
they are far enough back that we might be able to take a turn into a little bit of an off-road trail and then behind a rather large rock, if we can get the attention of Duke and Jacques to do the same.
We can certainly try. I don't think either of our vehicles are particularly quiet or easy to hide, but I think it's worth perhaps taking this off the highway. And so Selena will see if she can flash a light or something to try to get Duke's attention.
Okay. Duke, up ahead, for some reason, they are flashing a light back at you in the Bronco.
Duke will, as he's still singing and bobbing his head, kind of petting Jacques, he will turn on his high beams real quick, turn him back off like he's acknowledging it.
Jacques just kind of cocks his head to the side, trying to figure out what these silly half-human Garu in the front car are doing.
Me too.
I don't know. I'm just going.
Eustace, did you
three of
Morse
us,
code
honestly.
turn or something?
Yeah.
Does Duke know Morse code?
Oh my god. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
It's old.
Because that's the requirement for Morse code. Just being old.
It's old.
You're more likely
It's
to
the
know
requirement
it.
of Duke knowing something. Is it old? Duke knows it.
All right. We will say Duke knows Morse code. Sure.
Nice.
And so you flash a light back. What does the light say? What does your message say?
It's probably just pull off. Like,
Okay.
we're not going to get like a long, complicated message.
All right. So you see a message, pull off. So then, Lou, when you say pull off, are you guys just getting on the side of the road? Or are you getting to like the next exit? Like, what exactly are you looking to do? Like when you say pull off?
Well, if we could just pull off to the side of the road and see what they do, and also pretend like our car has had the issue.
Yeah, because we already tried getting gas and that didn't seem to work. So I like that. Just pull off to the shoulder.
Okay.
Pull off to the shoulder. We'll pretend one of our vehicles is broken down a bit.
Absolutely. You pull off to the side. Duke, you see them do it. Do you follow and you kind of pull off at the same time as well? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So
Start changing
guys,
it, or make it look like we're changing a tire.
Sure.
Sure. I'm going to pop the hood as well.
So the two cars pull over. You make a good show of making it look like you guys are on the side of the road, etc. You, I presume you, since like there's two cars. So are people getting out now and like you guys talking?
Yes, we're talking to each other.
So everybody knows everything. Fine. Okay. So then at a certain point you watch. It doesn't take very long for that car, once you guys are pulled over, to catch up. And as you see it pass, you see it is a very large, very black, very tinted looking series of windows. And it looks very much a Humvee, not unlike those that you drove away from the Echo Labs listening station. It doesn't stop, doesn't even slow. It just drives past you at its normal speed and continues off northward.
Can Duke try something as the vehicle starts to pass them?
Sure.
Duke wants to squint his eyes and look at where the driver would be and try and use stare down to see if he can get them to stop or like swerve or, like he's trying to freak out the driver.
Okay. All right. What's your, I think this is gonna probably be heavier difficulty than normal. So what do you normally have to hit for that? Probably
it's charisma and honor versus composure resilience.
Okay, yeah. So I'm just gonna give them a boost on what their general difficulty roll is. Okay. All right. Let me see. We've got
rage check.
Okay.
What is that? All right, 1 second.
Yeah. No worries.
All right, I'm going to re-roll 1.
Okay.
4 successes.
Okay. The vehicle doesn't stop. Doesn't even hesitate. Just goes. Doesn't slow or anything. Just keeps driving.
Okay.
Jacques just looks up, cocks his head, whines a little bit, as if to say, well, now they're in front of us. Maybe we should follow them.
We could do that.
That works.
Maybe.
Could be a Whataburger party.
Oh.
Oh my god.
Okay. Then let's quickly get back into the vehicles.
Okay. Lou, you're leading the way. Give me a drive test. Dexterity, probably. The roads up here they're not straight and flat. These are undulating, curving. There's ramps, or excuse me, not ramps. There's like you can see there's like gullies and ravines and stuff that you're kind of driving past. Sometimes you're climbing, and then you're speeding the hell down here and there. That's kind of how you're driving.
I got 2 successes.
Okay. You find yourself struggling to keep up. Maybe it's just because their vehicle is a Humvee. They can climb easier, whatever it might be. But you do find yourself falling behind. But obviously there's not a whole lot of turnoffs here. So you can stay on the road. And probably about 3-4 miles later, you notice that there's suddenly signs on the road flagging for detour. So you can see these little lines come up. You can say there's like detour, reroute this, and it kind of the next exit you're routing around. And so it does seem like a few miles ahead there is a rerouting of the highway.
New do those signs look?
They look. I mean, they look like they've been used before. They don't look brand new or anything.
Did Duke go use this detour when he went up here?
No, everything was fine when you drove up.
Yeah. Okay.
How close are we to where we're going, Duke?
Probably got about half an hour, maybe.
At like 60 miles an hour or
Something like that. Yeah, I mean, well, no, probably faster than that. Honestly, this road people do.
We're probably speeding.
Probably do like 80.
Laws. Well,
So
do we want to follow Eustace? Can you Morse code Duke and Jacques to see if they want to take this detour? Or
Selena's calling. Duke better not have
This
turned
is
his phone
like
off and be singing,
The
knowing
most
that
dangerous
we're
thing to do.
saying something.
Duke doesn't. Yeah,
What do
he
we do?
doesn't get on the phone because it's dangerous on the roads. You know, he doesn't understand.
hands it to Jacques. Jacques like, what do I do with this?
You
Jacques
hear-
in his wolf form, it just bites it, crunch.
You hear like the phone flip up, and he's like, "Hello." Oh shit! And the phone falls. And fall like onto
see
the
that?
floor, and he's trying to kick it with
The
his
Bronco
feet.
swerves, goes flying off a cliff.
Jacques, pick up the phone with your mouth. Hand it to me.
Arr. You hear a
Oh.
growl.
Oh, hey, Selena. Hey,
You
hey.
see, in
road
most horror
construction.
stories, you have these like overcomplicated reasons why nobody does just uses cell phones. The trick is just cast it with old people.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Okay, what are we doing?
Do we take the trap?
Do we do the turn?
What
If
do
you
guys
know
wanna
it's a
do
trap,
here?
it's not a trap. It's a standoff.
Okay. I mean, it wasn't here when I drove up here to see Whataburger Man a couple weeks ago, but up to you guys. You're leading the way.
Well, I have an idea. Let's drive around the signs and just keep going on the road.
Well, your ideas are always really good, so let's see what happens.
Yes, they are. Thank you for acknowledging
You
that.
see the Bronco starts to slow down a little bit as we follow.
Okay, so you get Lou to the point where you can see everyone's kind of slowing down. There's not that many cars. There's only a handful. You get to the point where they're sort of slowing down. You can see up ahead there are siren lights. You can see there are a handful of what looks like, when I say emergency vehicles, I basically mean like deputy cop type stuff. You don't see any ambulances or anything like that. They seem to have set up these little kind of hazard lights and stuff, and they're kind of waving people off as everyone, anyone who comes up is kind of slowly taking this exit. You don't, up ahead, it's just sort of darkness straight ahead. You're not really sure if you can see like anything specifically that suggests an accident or construction or anything like that. So Lou, what do you do? You're at this point where you're driving, you're making the decision. What do you do?
Yes, okay, we're turning down the detour now, and about a minute later, we'll turn up back and try to like drive over the wilderness back onto the main road.
Okay. So you drive. Okay. I literally just like there's just two things. Take the detour, don't take the detour. It's like Coke, Pepsi. God,
I will take the RC.
These are in the same
RCs.
picture.
What's going on? Okay. So you
Or
take
three
the
lights.
detour, you're following, and at a certain point you decide to just off-road it to try to get back onto the main highway.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Make a drive test, Lou.
I don't know why you're not gonna
You're
go.
driving.
Oh, I got 2 tens.
Okay. You
my.
manage to very easily. You drive up, and it is very much a incline that you're now having to drive up and then down over as you're going over what essentially is a rocky hill as thump, 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 and you flop back down onto the middle of the road. Duke, I need you to do the same thing as you are driving.
Okay.
Jacques looks over at Duke, his muzzle right up against his ear. He goes,
Duke's got the Bronco.
On the cassette's on. I'm sorry, it's broken, Jacques. It just keeps playing the same damn song.
His tongue just lolls out in appreciation of your musical sense.
All right.
So how do you do, Duke, on your drive
Don't worry,
test?
it's gonna be good.
We're gonna roll the Bronco.
All right, I'm gonna re-roll all of them.
Oh my gosh, that was not a good roll at all.
Fails. Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Oh, that was even worse.
Oh my
That
god,
was
that's even a
worse.
worse roll. Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at
Wow. Shit.
Okay.
So as the Bronco gets up and it starts coming down the incline, it's too steep of an incline. It does, in fact, you lose control. You feel the rear of the vehicle begin to sort of peel off the incline, and then you start to tumble, and your Bronco comes smashing down to the ground. Oh God! The two of you in the car can go ahead and take 3 points of superficial health damage as you are tossed around like you're in a washing machine. You smash against the asphalt of the highway. The vehicle's on its side. Glass kicks up into the into the actual vehicle itself. So you're kind of getting it caught in your face and your eyes here and there. And the two of you are now on the highway, tipped over on your side. I'm sure you're going to be fine, but you've been tossed around. Meanwhile, Lou, you have started to move out ahead. If you look through the mirror, you see them tumbling and crashing down on the highway.
I think we need to stop. I think I've done what is called a Steven.
Jacques is growling at Duke, and it's basically like, I think I'm going to kill Lou now.
Yeah. You also notice that there are vehicles, like you can see there is a vehicle with sirens, your normal blues, just kind of coming down back from where the detour was, raring and coming right up, pulling up right up beside the Bronco at this point. You see, people popping out. Lou, what are you doing?
I think we need to go save some.
Okay. So you turn around. Do you hang a Yui? Didn't you just you already broke detour, did all sorts of stuff? Do you just turn around and start driving the opposite direction on the highway that you're not supposed to be on right now?
You can just reverse.
Okay. So you kick it into reverse because that makes it better. You kick it into reverse and you start going back.
Mm-hmm.
Duke, Jacques,
Yes.
you guys are tumbled around. You see the lights, the blue lights kind of come up. You see a flashlight, and you hear, "You guys all right in there? Anyone there? What's going on? Hey, come on!" And he kind of, they're kind of banging down, they're letting down. "You need a hand there, buddy? What the hell were you doing?" And he kind of reaches in.
Yeah, I was following that car in front of me. What is this? It took me into.
Hey, Jim, why the hell is that car backing up? Well, yep, okay. All right, hey guys, we got two vehicles that tried to jump the detour here. We got a crash back. We're gonna need send an ambulance down here. We got send it on down here. Okay, come on up. And so you can hear just normal communication, nothing super suspicious. They just dress like deputy guys. One of them comes over. Jacques, are you in Lupus?
Yeah, he's in wolf form. So he crawls out. He's whimpering a little bit. His tongue's lolling out, and he kind of rolls over on his side.
The cop comes up. The cop comes around. He's like, "Oh, hey, little boy. Hey, come here, guy. Come on, good boy. Come on, come here. Come on."
Jacques will go out, lick his hand, and then Jacques just kind of sprints off into the desert.
Jacques, no, my best friend.
Damn
it, you spooked him.
Sir, you just drove off a cliff and crashed on the highway.
I was
trying to
following
guilt
the car
trip
in
him.
front of me. Do you know how old I am?
Sir, you have the right to remain silent. He starts going through the whole thing. You start feeling like they're
Miranda
doing the
rights?
checking. They're making sure that you're you don't have concussion or anything like that. And then they start putting your hands into cuffs. And now at this point, the car is sort of backing up. You see the other deputy, Jim, who had been chasing after Jacques. He comes up and you can see him kind of flashing his light and he's kind of waving his hands, trying to get you to stop. What do you do, Lou?
It looks like they already are here. Do you think Jacques looks like he ran off? So we just need to kidnap Duke and get out of here.
This is going to be a bit difficult. Eustace, you good with this talking stuff? Not.
Officer, I'm so incredibly sorry. My brother over there, he's got early onset Alzheimer's.
Who?
We thought we could trust him to drive, because he's just a stubborn, mean, ignorant son of a bitch. I told him not to.
Sir, I'm gonna need you. Ma'am, can you pull the vehicle over onto the side? We'll listen to your sob story in a moment. Over to the side, please.
This is good. I'm happy here. I parked.
Over to the side, ma'am.
I am, yes, easy.
You are in the middle of the highway. Please pull your vehicle onto the side of the road.
Salita's just going to poke Lou and just point to where he's.
Okay, I go.
At that moment,
that's his daughter. It's just a whole thing. It's just the worst.
As you're telling him, and he's just like, okay, that's fine. Over to the side, ma'am, so we've got Duke is in handcuffs now, as the one guy has him
West
on the
Virginia.
He's sick in West Virginia. Jacques is run off into the wild. Off. Yeah, go ahead.
So I wanted to run off into the dark, and then when everybody gets distracted by arresting everybody, he was going to shift into Hispo, circle around, and stealthily bite the tires of the police cars. So that
there's not going to be time for that yet.
Okay,
something else is about to happen, but definitely there's time for you to stealth off into the darkness. We'll say that's going to happen
coming back.
As you turn around. There is a sound. I'll say that those of you that are on the highway can kind of hear. You just hear. And then the cop's just like, what the hell is that? And then at the last second, coming on the road, basically from where Lou was, the lights of the Humvee suddenly pop on 10 feet from you. You can see there's one guy on basic leading out either side. And you can see both of the cops, one that's on Duke, one that's actually talking to Lou. Both of them just and they fall to the ground. Your Humvee, the Humvee itself, goes smashing into the El Camino, which starts spinning and spinning and spinning. And Duke, as you're singing West Virginia, the body of this poor deputy falls on top of you. And we'll pick up there next time around and see how this is going to go.
Maybe my cleverly crafted ruse, man.
I really thought my chaos would lose them.
I didn't even get to roll to lie. I tried.
You just got stuck.
Things though, like you can roll. But does it matter? It doesn't really matter. You still rolled a vehicle coming down. Like, it doesn't matter what the reason is for. They're not just going to let you
And they
go
were going to
that.
Get shot anyway.
Well, they weren't going to get shot until you guys interfered. Otherwise, they weren't going to be there.
If somebody had been okay at driving, we could have been out of there.
He's an old man. He doesn't have the reflexes.
I only have 3 dice, okay?
Be thoughtful about the choices that we make.
I think Jacques is beginning to believe that Lou truly is an agent of the Weaver who's going to need to be dealt with.
This does feel like a knife in the ear kind of moment, possibly.
I'm just still really insulted you all go to Whataburger. I'm just sincerely insulted by
We're
that.
definitely going to get there now.
Slow motion spinning. Eustace just has a random thought. I'm really concerned about the fact that you guys are going to Whataburger as you're spinning.
It's okay. I never eat there.
Jacques is sitting back there in the shadows looking at his pack going, how in the hell did I get
just turns around
with these guys?
I'm going back to Phoenix. Yep. See ya.
You left the decision making in Lou's head.
You went first.
You guys were driving in front. I thought you'd keep driving in front.
What is it with like us like doing weird shit on the highway in this game? Like we did this in Hunter too.
Yeah.
Oh, crazy things.
So that's what you do is you pretend to go down the detour and then you double back over the terrain to go on the main road. That's normal.
Yeah.
And get chased by the police.
Yeah.
Well,
you
not if you drive well.
Decent time, and you're driving a very old El Camino and an old Bronco.
Slow speed chase. We do a little OJ Simpson there on the
already struggling going up and down and losing the Humvee in front of you. Oh goodness. Okay. I think everything worked out exactly as it was meant to.
It's a thing of beauty.
Thing of beauty. Yeah. That'd be great.
We are face to face with lockroom control agents as we
didn't drive into a pincer attack.
You don't know that. They could be random Arizonans for we know.
That's sadly true.
It could be my neighbor from 2 blocks over. Could be that guy. Don't get me started.
It's actually like a political
then
drive
he's also
right now.
breaking
There's
all
an
law and
election
going around
going
the
on.
detour.
Yep. Oh, goodness. All right. So why don't we go ahead and do some plugs? We get on out of here. Eustace, or Jeremy, go ahead and tell us about this Patreon.
Yeah. Yeah, and race on Patreon, maps, tokens, other fun stuff. Check it out.
Fantastic. Aaron, what is going on over on Garblack?
Well, Pete was sick this week, so we had a bit of a hiccup there. But next week on Tuesday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch Millie running her Coriolis campaign. On Wednesday, we'll be back for some more Marvel Multiverse as our British covert superheroes in 1943 fight their way through Battle Axis and then jump into the Cataclysm of Kang. And then on Thursday, Pete should be back to continue his Heroic Deeds campaign where he is running the Red Hand of Doom.
Awesome. Fantastic. As for us here, tomorrow night, Aaron, tell us what's going on.
So tomorrow night will be episode 1 of our Warhammer 40K Wrath and Glory campaign where you'll get to actually meet all the characters, and we're going to jump into a Space Hulk adventure just to get a hang for the rules, to get a hang for Foundry, and see if I can murder one of the players in episode 1. I've got goals.
Nice.
Good
Very
luck.
nice. I am excited. I am very excited.
jealous.
I really like my character. I don't know if he's any good.
He's cool.
I think he's a glass cannon that goes up close and then voluntarily explodes. That's basically my height. So very excited to play him. Not tomorrow. Saturday, we are doing Strangely Left. We're going to be doing some Delta Green on Saturday. Normally we play this on Friday nights, but because of a quirk in the schedule, it's going to be like Thanksgiving stuff next week. So we're going to play it on Saturday this week so we don't fall behind. So come hang out. We can see the fallout of, just Steven.
Steven.
Steven. That's what it is. Monday, we'll be back to Fragged Empire. You can see the top row on that as we're playing some space sci-fi. And then on Tuesday, we'll be doing some Marvel Multiverse RPG where I threw a Sentinel at other Sentinels. It was very fun.
Yay!
It was very fun. Yeah, I enjoyed it. Yeah, Steven threw some Sentinels. I've been saying to them this whole time, like, I think I can take a Sentinel. And then I one-shot a Sentinel when it showed up.
Oh, yeah.
And
Just
like,
crushed the crap out of it.
You can
I
take
made
a
them
Sentinel.
weaker than the rest of them. Like, all right, whatever you got to do. Whatever you got to do. Whatever you got to do. All right. Anyhow, let's go. Let's go ahead and raid somebody. Who we got going on? Let's do Evandale. Let's do that. Let's go ahead and raid Evandale. They're playing some sort of RPG. I can't figure out what it is, but hey, close enough. Have a great night, everybody. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see y'all later. Bye-bye.
Good night.